All right, so I'm about to get on a customer call and decided to go on a walk to make this video that I've been wanting to make on this whole work-life balance thing. The traditional concept of work-life balance is completely flawed. Instead of separating work and life, these two should be integrated, and that's how you create a fulfilling life with what you do. Because we're so used to seeing work as like a sacrifice and something that we have to do. The first step here is to really have a full mindset shift in how both of these can live together. And the reason the mindset shift is important is because this is how you can actually achieve making both of these balance and live with each other. All right, so lesson number one is that work and life shouldn't be seen as mutually exclusive. These are not two separate things, but instead these are elements that have to and can coexist together. And this is called work-life integration. As an example, if you go on a work trip and you don't take time to also have fun and do things like explore the city or meet up with friends, you're getting it completely wrong. Your work should be embedded into your life and everything you do. For example, I just went on a walk and did a call. So that is the concept of like doing two things at the same time that harmoniously make your life quality better and you're getting your work done. And so that's why I decided to make this video at the beach. I live right across and said, well, rather than just sitting on my desk, I'll go and explore out the beautiful day and make this video. And so originally I got this from my dad. My dad owns a hardware and we would go on trips to Chicago every year for a conference of all the major hardware owners, and he would bring the family along and we would all go to the convention center, go to the event, and then we also have dinner. It wasn't like a work trip, it's just a work trip, and then a family trip is a family trip. We always did our family trips with business related, and that's what I embed into almost every single trip that I do. Even Jeff Bezos, he takes his kids to his board meetings at Amazon and he sits them down in his meetings and takes them to work. And that's exactly how you should be thinking about the mindset shift of what work-life integration really is. Lesson number two is that you need to create time and not manage it. Managing time. I manage my time. That sounds so painful. That sounds like a task in itself and a full-time job and a sacrifice that you have to make for what you do. Creating time is very different than managing time. If you go for a walk and listen to a podcast or do a call, you're not managing time, you're creating time. You're integrating what it is that matters to you on your personal life with what you do in your work life, because your work life is your life's work. This is why also I recommend people to do meetings while at lunch or at breakfast, because you want to bang out two things at once. You have to eat and you have to connect and meet with others. Why not do it at the same time? And that is a concept of creating time. You don't want to make time for lunch and then make time for another meeting after. That is a huge waste of time. That's not managing time. That's being insanely inefficient with your time. And the reason the concept of creating time is so important is because creating time aligns both your work life and your personal life. And you need to have goals for each of these and figure out how to integrate them and make them live harmoniously. Your work goals should tie into your personal goals. All right, so lesson number three is defining categories and priorities in your work and in your life. Defining the core categories in your personal and in your work life are absolutely critical. All of this depends on the goals that you want financially, lifestyle-wise, and what truly matters to you. Once you have these core pillars and categories defined, then you can start creating your ideal work day and what your day-to-day will look like and envision that and then bring it to life. And so then every task and everything you do should contribute to that larger goal, like business wealth, strengthening relationships, becoming a better person, becoming more fit or more energized. And all of these things have to live together, because the beauty of being insanely energized is that you can do a lot more with work and you can accomplish both of those simultaneously. You cannot have one without the other. You can't choose to perform better at work, but then forget about your personal life and then make time for fitness at random times and not being committed. There's just not enough time in the day to live both of these lives sort of separately. This is why who you choose to spend your time with is so important. If you are spending time with people that don't contribute to any of these goals, that's another thing that you add to your schedule. And you want to meet and hang out with people that contribute to every single one of these pillars and categories in your life. They need to contribute value to you. And if they don't, then it's super easy to just cut them off. That sounds really rude and dry, but in reality, that's what you want to do. You want to only surround yourself with people that understand what you're trying to accomplish and can contribute to your life's goal and dream. My favorite part about this is that productivity and creativity skyrocket and spike when you figure out this motion and way of going of life, because you're fully energized at all times. Nothing feels like a freaking sacrifice. It's not like, oh, I have to do this call, or I have to do this meeting, or I have to go here and network or meet with this person. Your life is one full integration of things that you love, like, and people that you love to be around. But I also know that different stages in your career may require different levels of focus on work. Sometimes you have to sprint and block all the outside noise and sacrifice health and things like that. But those things should only be in sprints. Still align with your mission, eating healthy, in order to keep that energy and sustain that. But just know that that is not a 24/7 long-term strategy that you really want to go after. Just know that there are sprints, and know when it's time to sprint, and know when it's time to just run the marathon and not do the sprint. All right, so in conclusion, to recap with you, number one is that this is a key mindset shift. It's about integrating work and life, not about having to balance both of those. Just the word balance makes me energy drained. It feels so draining to have to sacrifice this with that, and fun with work and work with fun. You don't want that in your life. You want to integrate both of these together so they are both one activity. Number two, this approach leads to a way more fulfilling and sustainable life. Just think about not having to sacrifice both of those things and having fun while you're accomplishing your life's work and your mission closer to fulfilling your single purpose. Number three, I encourage all of you to adopt this mindset, and it leads to a way healthier relationship with life and work. It's gonna reap so many benefits in health, energy, the work that you do, the energy that you put into every single call and into every single task that you do. It is a long-term mindset shift that will change forever how you look at work. So if you enjoyed this video, like it below. If you know anyone that might be burning out or is always constantly complaining about they have to do this with work or people at work, trust me, let them know that is a mindset shift, and then everything else will fall into place from there. So feel free to reach out with any questions. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll catch you on the next one.